Welcome to our panel conversation about how to structure your search team. I'm Katie Boschele, here with Lucidworks. I'm a project manager over the UI team, as well as our Managed Fusion and Fusion 5 componentry. I've been with Lucidworks for probably going on 3 years now. Before that, I was an e-commerce expert with a Fortune 40 home improvement warehouse company. Let's move over to Michelle and do a brief intro around the room.
Hey, I'm Michelle Gregorio with the Aerospace Corporation. I've been with the company for 17 years now, and I'd like to say I had previous experience, but no, I went straight to aerospace, straight from college, so I was totally a fresh out. And I am the technical lead for our enterprise search service powered by Fusion. And there are other things that I'm also responsible for, but that is my primary service.
Awesome, welcome. Miss Ann, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. My name is Ann Vargo. I'm with CDW. My role currently is a senior product manager, focusing on search. I've been at CDW for going on 27 years this year. And the past just over 10 years is where I've been really focusing on the search experience across our customer-facing websites. And I'll pass it off to Kate, my partner in crime.
Hey there. So my name is Kate Stepankovskaya. I also come from CDW, working with Ann for many years. I'm actually an engineering manager and product owner for the search platform team at CDW. With 15 plus years of product development. And like I said, out of those 15 plus years, 10 those were with CDW. So currently I'm leading the search platform team and focusing on the enterprise search engine. My team is essentially responsible for delivering best-in-class global search platform for e-commerce, content, and coworker innovations.
Awesome. And finally, Viren, do you want to go?
Sure. I'm Viren Patel. I'm with PwC. I'm a director in our chief data office and a product owner of enterprise search, as well as our third-party data engineering services. I've been with PwC probably 18 years now or more. It's a losing count. I've got, throughout my career, I've had a focus on technology solutions and consulting, data analytics, data engineering, and enterprise search for over 5 years now. I've presented at Activate the past 3 years on various topics like strategic value from enterprise search, search as a service, solving for the last mile of relevancy. And then our search solution at PwC was awarded Best Workplace Search in 2019 for the first Lucidworks Connector Award. So happy to be a part of the panel and share our story.
Awesome. Thank you guys all for being here. This is awesome. We've got a really good side of the house, whether it be from the product discovery or the enterprise workplace. So I'm super excited to have this panel conversation with you guys. Let's dive into getting the organization's search team structure right. I've seen it done so many different ways, spanning from both the digital commerce and the workplace search application. Does anybody want to start and just talk about kind of how your search team is structured where you're at?
Yeah, I can start with ours because we may have a bigger one than most, or at least a medium-sized one. So we have our enterprise search product owner, right? So their job is to create value from search and insights and align it to our firm's strategy. We have a technology solution architect. They design our solution and they lead the development team. And then we have a business/data analyst. And they work with the business customers really on their search needs and how we can improve search. The person also, has these data skills so they can go in and kind of analyze our search information and help manage our relevancy through our ontology tool. And that's helping us solve for that last mile of relevancy. So, these efforts with a tech-enabled process and having knowledge of the business, right? Knowing what people are looking for. Helps us provide relevant, curated results. So we are able to manage like 50% of our top searches. And because we know what they're looking for, we can guide them to the right links. And, that's a combination of having that business knowledge and the technology enablement. So very, very key role for us. We have a Scrum Master. We'll have anywhere from 2 to 3 full stack developers, just depending on the project workload. We've got a tester for regression testing. We've got an operations support team to support our production environment. And then, of course, when we need help, we engage Lucidworks professional services as well. We utilize them for advisory support or, consulting projects, or when we go through upgrades, help us through the harder stuff. So definitely a combination of many people on our team to help our solution keep going and be up and running for our firm.
That's really great. How many would you say total that you guys have? Because it sounds like you have a good stack between the business as well as the technology side.
Yeah, I mean, we could be anywhere from 7 to 10 people. We move people in and out from the development side and work with resources as we have needs. But yeah, during COVID, we had less. We were more in the maintain mode. This year, we're back at it again. We're going to be going through an upgrade, upgrading to Fusion 5. So we're going to have a larger team set, and we'll be engaging Lucidworks professional services as well to help us through that.
Awesome. Anne or Kate, did you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, you want to do this, Kate? We'll kind of do this one together. Yeah.
We can do it together. Yeah, so definitely you can kickstart from the business side, and I'll move on to technical.
Yeah, so at CDW, I think we have really a partnership between our technology group, our digital group, which is divided into digital customer, which I'm part of, and digital seller, which is another team within our digital area. That team is focusing on the experience that our sellers have with searching for products and in the tools that they use. We also have another area that we're highly embedded with, and that is on the digital merchandising side. And then within our marketing group, we have a burgeoning partnership with our data science team. I'll talk a little bit about the digital customer and digital seller and digital merchandising piece and how those all work together. And then I'll bring it on over to you, Kate, and you can maybe go over the platform piece. So on the digital customer and digital seller side, we have a lead on that side who is really looking at only after the commerce-facing search and the coworker-facing search, but all search products overall. And then as well as focusing on recommendations. And then within the digital customer side, you have myself, who is a product manager with a full stack Agile team, right? The Scrum Master, the QA, the engineering team, partnering with UX and UI on that piece. And then on digital seller, you have a mirror of that where we've got a product manager on that side, as well as the UX, UI, and the engineering resources. And then again, like I said, on that final mile piece, like Viren was talking about, our digital merchandising team, they're really doing the final mile. They're managing our taxonomy. They are managing those final mile search optimizations, and a huge partner for both the digital customer and for the search platform team in terms of optimizing those that search experience and partnering with us as we bring up new features and functionality. And then, like I said, we've got the digital science team, which, the Fusion product has a healthy amount of capabilities around AI, and really to make the most of that and really infuse that product with and infuse that product with the smarts and the knowledge that we need to make it work for all of our different use cases. We're working together with the data science team to really to bring that into our products. So, Kate, if you want, there's a lot to talk about around the technology side.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Anne. So yes, I mean, as Anne has mentioned, we partner quite a bit. And when we say partner, this is like daily conversations, weekly conversations. We partner with the digital customer, digital seller, digital merchandising team throughout the process. So that's basically the main stream of information that we exchange in between the technical and the business side of the house, right? So that interaction is ongoing. Right. Same thing. We actually started interacting with the data science team on the business side, right? So that to actually bring that knowledge into the platform as well. Traditionally, all of the search teams were very lean at CDW. So we operated extremely lean, right? So as part of the migration from the Indeco to the Fusion search engine that we completed last year, we realized that we need to expand a whole lot more, right? We need to invest a whole lot more into the teams. And we started off with as Viren was mentioning, right? With the technical lead, with the architect on the team, with few engineers on the team. We paid a lot of attention to the performance engineering as well. It was a shared resource, but then we quickly realized, well, no, we need a full-time resource on the team who would be responsible for the performance testing, because we want to make sure that we're delivering the scalable and performance solutions to our consumers. And our consumers, as you heard Anne saying, sellers and customers. So we've expanded that area. We do have the shared resources on the DevOps side that are helping us out to move the artifacts for the Fusion, right? We're actually looking into having the designated resources for that specific area. And we're actually partnering a lot with the Lucidworks professional services team. Those are actually in the interactions on the daily basis as well. Right, we discuss, we workshop things. We actually go through the relevancy backlog. We partner with data science team, with the Lucidworks team as well. Now, the new roles that I was talking about that we quickly realized that we need to get into, and this is something that I'm currently working on, right? Getting the search analyst, that's extremely important for the team, right? We need to have the resource who would be responsible for proactively looking into the search improvements, coming up with the backlog, work closely with the data science team and the search analyst on the digital customer and seller side, and be very familiar with Adobe Analytics. This is what we use within the CDW, right? There is another critical role that we're trying to get into the team is the search relevancy engineer, right? Responsible for search engine tuning and delivering, associated measurements and experiments. It's a critical role, right? We've never spent so much time on relevancy compared to what we do right now. It's a full-time job, right? So another critical role is the new AI engineer. So this is, again, something that we want to expand on. That person would be responsible for developing and training complex algorithms and, that make up Fusion AI. And that role really requires the combined experience in software development, data science, and the data engineering. Super critical role if you're standing up the search the right way, right? And you want to use all of the beauty of the AI and ML that is offered within the engine. So those are the critical roles that we're currently expanding on, and we're trying to grow the team. Like I said, we started small. And we're growing slowly, and there will be a lot of investment in that area. I don't know, Anne, if you want to add anything to this.
No.
No, that was great. I'll come back to the new roles because I have some questions about that as well. But Michelle, do you want to tell us what you guys are doing over there at Aerospace?
Yeah, so I mean, compared to everyone else on the call, we operate quite lean. Nobody on our team, which is a 6-person team, is 100% on search. So, we have a knowledge applications department, which sits in our IT group. And, that's where 4 of the 6 are from. So, 3 of us are in the same department, my manager, myself, and another. My manager acts essentially as the customer liaison. Makes sense. He's a manager. He talks to the customer. He talks to other groups. He has easy access to them. So that makes sense. I end up spending about 75% of my time on search. And then our other colleague, he's our developer. He's our go-to person anytime we need to, work in the nitty gritty with anything, developing any code or whatever, any additional programs to help support search. We have since we work under Agile, we have our Scrum Master, kind of sits above us all. So he makes sure that, we keep our backlog up to date, we make sure we keep on track with all the tasks we have. And then the other two members of the team are members of the library staff, because the product from Aerospace, we produce reports. We produce reports, for our customers, and that's our bread and butter. And so they are in the thick of what we produce, and they have, their hands in, essentially our currency. That's our currency, or the reports that we write. And so they have all the stuff that we need to, index, and that's what everyone is searching for at the company. They're trying to reference reports from launch vehicles and programs and get, all the knowledge management material that other people have created before them. So they are the ones that we look to say, is this repository something that is worth crawling, or is it just, someone's shared drive that, no one cares about it and only that one person will worry about. So, and that's why we've incorporated the library staff in our search team, because, they know what's important, because, we have such a small team. So we have to kind of be choosy about what we choose to index, because otherwise, if we're just bringing back everything across the enterprise, half of it's going to be garbage. And so we have to be, selective about what we bring back.
And
That's awesome.
if I could just jump in, like Michelle at CDW, really outside of Kate's team, the folks that I was mentioning on that digital side and within data science, nobody is 100% dedicated to search, although we focus on it and we focus on the search experience. Particularly, I'll talk about the digital customer side because that's what I'm responsible for, but we focus on the search experience, we focus on the navigation. So we have broad responsibilities. Digital merchandising, that team, like I said, they manage the taxonomy, they do those final mile adjustments, relevancy adjustments, but they also help manage our product data, and they're also heavily embedded within other teams within our digital experience group. And so it's really helpful to, so again, they're not 100% dedicated. And honestly, I think it's, my opinion is that you don't always need all dedicated resources, because what happens, and I think in particularly larger organizations, is people tend to get really siloed and they lose the perspective that they gain by being part of other parts of the group. So I think, because particularly with search, right, you're bringing everything together. So I think it's a good thing to have folks, embedded in your group, but also, have other responsibilities.
Yeah, 100%. You guys kind of segued right into my next question. Depending on the size of your organization, one person could have multiple roles in one position. So, the names could change. You could have a search evangelist, a search analyst, a product manager. And so my question was, do your employees within your search organization have do they play multiple roles? Do they do multiple things? And one of the things that I found, whether it be a big organization or a large organization, most of them have multiple focuses. I know where I was at before, I started out as a search and navigation analyst. So, my primary focus was the search, but we also did the navigation as well. And then as I moved into product, it all was kind of one umbrella that we did search and navigation under that kind of fusion platform. And the focus was kind of back and forth. Viren, do you guys see the same thing at PwC?
Yeah, well, so in my case, right, I was, for the last couple of years, I was split between enterprise search product owner and our third-party data engineer role. So yeah, I wasn't 100% dedicated to search. Previously I was, but our Scrum Master is not only our Scrum Master, but is also our IT demand manager. So they help us navigate the firm's IT department to, set up infrastructure, get developer resources, and search is not the only product he supports other products. and like that, our solution architect has different responsibilities over other products. I'd say our only dedicated resources are our developers, because even our ops team, operations support team, supports other products at PwC from an ops perspective. One thing I like to throw out there just to the team here, to the panel, is finding resources which search skills, right? Previous search skills has been tough for us, right? It's really been, are you a full stack developer? Are you willing to learn? And then we bring them on and they have to learn, Solar, the tool, the language, the lingo, and it takes the time to onboard them, and you don't want to lose those resources, but you just want to get other people's thoughts too, as you answer this other question regarding how hard or easy has it been to find resources with this niche search skill set.
100%. 100% agree.
When I talk to people about what I do, just, outside of the search world and trying to explain it to them, like, that is the one thing I always say. I'm like, it's such a niche role, like search in what we do, because even understanding the why and the what, whether it be with Fusion or another tool, it's just a niche, and understanding what customers are looking for, what they're trying to find, why they're trying to find certain things. And it's funny how all of our roles, no matter if you're a product manager, an engineer, anything like that, are niche in search.
Right. I mean, on the product management side, right, like having an amazing partnership with your engineering team is like absolutely critical to making the whole platform a success. And so from a product management perspective, you do have to understand key technical concepts. You have to understand what's going on underneath the hood. And then you also need to understand the problems that users are having, right? And then you need to understand the problems that your business is having. So you need to kind of have that, that kind of triumvirate of knowledge to really kind of make it happen. And yes, absolutely, you just don't find a lot of people with that direct experience around search. Most of the search experience, you hear paid search, or it's more around search engine optimization, right, in the marketplace, but not necessarily the concept of search for commerce purposes. I can't speak about, search for knowledge management purposes, but definitely, search for commerce purposes. It's a definite niche on the business side as well, for sure.
Our approach for dealing with that, because I inherited the search service. So, we formerly had the Google Search Appliance, easy, but then, Google did away with that. And we wanted something simple because, we were a one-person team at that point. It was me and my manager, and we were just trying to figure out, what to go with. And then we actually, because the thing with Aerospace is, we have a whole engineering side. Everyone likes to do their own thing. So people are building their own search solutions just for their, particular database or their website or, whatever their repository is. So everyone's doing their own thing. It wasn't centralized, but we had a whole shift where, we're trying to centralize, okay, all the operations, it's being handled by the IT group so they can distribute, servers or resources appropriately. So we kind of get away from the silos. And so when we, made the decision to go with Fusion, like what happens if one of us gets sick, then what, the search service is just going to go down because no one's there to support it. And so when we were trying to find another person, essentially a backup, we were struggling. So we do have a regular contract with Lucidworks, for professional services, and that works out great. But because of, our restrictions, we're behind the firewall, we can't open up those ports. So we have to have someone. So we reached out to fresh outs. That's what we did. And we trained them up. We lost a couple along the way because they found other passions, but so we had to start with the ground up and just train the folks up, if they had any developer experience, just, are you interested in this? Kind of like feel them out a little bit. And, but we found one, and, he's stuck with us since for the past couple of years. So we're happy with that. But yeah, it's tough.
And that's what I love about it, because when I started in search, I had no previous experience. And so everything I've learned has, garnered from, I started in that digital commerce, and then I came to Lucidworks, and I've worked with all different types of clientele. And so really just growing in that search-based knowledge We only have a few minutes left, but I wanted to get some closing remarks and see what you guys had to say. Anything you wanted to tell the world about, your search organization as we're wrapping up. If we've missed anything, I'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I was just segueing into the last question was, where does search sit in your team? And Michelle, you kind of just touched on that. So like on our side, it sits within a service line called products and technology. And within there, we're in the technology pillar. And then within there, there's the chief data office. So everything at PwC is a bit complicated. We're so big. But our product is the enterprise search index, right? So that data. And we also have the UI. So you can come to our product through the UI, but we can also expose our index via APIs to other applications that want to consume that index. So we'll work with strategic applications so they're consuming that data. So that's search as a service as a product in consuming that enterprise index. But also we have search as a service where we can create private indexes for other applications that don't want to go and reinvent the wheel on search, right? So they don't need to research what's the best search product, get resources, get additional funding. We can help them index their content and then expose it through an API just to their specific content, and then they can expose search on their app. I think that's a great part of where we sit in the organization as a product, right? So not just creating value out of one product, which would be kind of like our landing page, our PwC Google, right? Which we call Fathom, the product, but also enabling search as a service of the technology and the data.
Love that. Any other closing remarks? Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. The information has just been just amazing. I love talking with you guys and sharing the knowledge back and forth. So thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, panelists, for sharing your knowledge. And we hope you join us for our Q&A after the session. Thank you, guys.